Hi everyone. Time for another video because we are starting a brand new project today that's going to last about 4 weeks. So when I put out the survey to you guys, a lot of you said that you have other materials at home. Most of you said you have other materials at home besides pencil and paper. And I got a lot of feedback, like write-in feedback, that you guys want to do something more open-ended. And I definitely think it's time for that. Time for a little more freedom now that we're kind of in this routine of submitting things and communicating back and forth via email. So I think that is a good plan, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to gather any material that you plan on working with, and you're going to start planning for this first week. So this first week, you really do not have to start on your actual final artwork if you don't want to. It's really just about sketching and planning and making sure that you're super happy with the idea you pick because you're stuck with it for 4 weeks. If you finish early, which you really need to try not to, but if you do, you're going to start a new project. So to work on for that time. So you really want to plan to have it span the 4 weeks and be done around that time. There's like a little wiggle room at the end of like some people are going to finish a day early or a day later, and that's perfectly fine. So, like I said, your first step is ideation with your ideas, okay, and planning. So when you go into our Schoology folder, when you first click on the folder, you are going to see Introduction and Grading Overview. That's the first thing that you should be clicking and reading through. I know it's a lot. It took me like 2 weeks to write all this and make sure it was good. But everything's pretty important in my opinion, so I think that you should read the introduction, and then you definitely have to read the project choices. Go through those different choices. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 choices for you, and the last choice is you choose. So if you're not interested in any of the ideas that I provide you with, that's perfectly fine. You can come up with your own idea, but you need to email me with a proposal before getting started. So one of the first few days of this project, you need to email me, write out about a paragraph of your idea. Are you going to reference photos? Is it from imagination? What's inspiring you? How large is it going to be? What materials are you using? If you have any sketches done by the time of the proposal, send that to me. If you're going to reference photos, also put those in the email so I can see those. Just as much information you can give me as soon as possible so that I can review it and make sure it's good. Just want to make sure that it's challenging enough for you and that it's going to be, enough for you to work on. And I'm interested to hear what you guys think of. So please do that. If there's something like you've been dying to work on in class, or maybe you like want to practice more of a skill, or maybe you're super interested in flowers, so you want to do something with flowers. I don't know. Think about your interests, and if you can't fit that into any of the other choices that I give you, then come up with your own proposal. Talk about what colors, or is it going to be black and white? What's the subject matter? All that stuff. Then underneath that is talking about planning your time. Read that. Touched on that in the beginning. Really important. And your Padlet posts. So instead of progress reports, I'm really liking you guys posting on Padlet. I love reading your comments to each other. You guys are giving really good feedback. So I want to keep doing that. It's like a shared collaborative space to provide feedback and kind of see what everyone else in your class is working on. I hope you guys like it too. Next, you should go and look at the page called Daily Outline and Due Dates. So you're going to be referencing this a lot. I break down all the days for you, all the 15 days, and I highlight anything that's due. So for example, day 1, today, read through all these pages, read the introduction carefully, look at the due dates, watch this video, and then write in the discussion thread, okay? So then if you were to exit this and look at the discussion thread for day 1, what you're going to post in there is what project you're thinking of choosing. So you can take 2 days to write in this discussion thread, because it might take you a whole day just to figure out what you want to do. That's fine, okay? So just make sure you figure that out. You can change your mind after your original idea. I just kind of want to see where your head's at right in the start, okay? So it's okay if your first idea isn't actually what you end up going with. It can change, that's fine, before you get started. What materials you plan on using, and if you have any questions, okay? So now would be the time to ask whatever questions are on the top of your head. No question is a bad question, okay? I am someone who asks a lot of questions, so ask your questions. So then looking back at this, day 2, day 3, you're planning and you're sketching, okay? So every day of class for about 35 minutes, you're doing that. Day 4, continue working and submit your first post to Padlet, okay? So this should show 2 to 4 days of planning progress. You'll have to submit a photo of any sketches you have, and write a few sentences. So what you're submitting as your photo is a photo of your sketchbook page, and if you have additional pages, you can just email those to me or keep them to yourself, okay? I just need to see your sketches, your composition ideas. Do not make huge, large sketches, okay? Do your little thumbnails. Don't waste your time filling up an entire page with a detailed sketch. That's not a sketch. Okay, so that's the first step of this, and then if you keep looking, there's a second Padlet post due of, your progress, and then you're going to give each other feedback, and yada, 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 read my feedback. And yeah, and then you're going to post it on your website, so read through that, and then lastly, you're going to give comments to each other. So that's the next 4 weeks. I really wanted to give you guys, space to work at a different pace. So like maybe one day you work for an hour and a half and the next day you don't work at all. That's fine. I don't really care how you spend the time, as long as by those due dates you have the amount done that you should have done. If you submit something after 4 days of working and it looks like you spent about 10 or 20 minutes on it, you're going to get points taken off for that, and don't fight me on it, okay? Because you're supposed to be doing your work, and if you decide not to do your work, you're going to get points off, and I can tell, okay? I went to art school. I've been doing this for a while, and I know when it's not had a lot of time put into it. I also know you guys really well, and I know the pace that you work at. So if you work at a slower pace, I already know exactly who you are, okay? And I know to take that into account. If you're someone who works really fast, I also know that, okay? And you should also know that about yourself when you're planning this. Yeah, and then looking in the main folder, receiving feedback and asking questions for me. So click that to see, if you want more information. We can do video chats, you can email me, all that good stuff. Ideas and inspiration photos, I just pulled a bunch of random photos from the internet, so if you're feeling stuck, I would go to that and scroll through it, see if it sparks any ideas for you. And then we have the individual folders for the different projects. So no matter which one you choose, even if you're doing your own proposal, that has its own folder. If you click into one of those, I usually give an overview. I put in some videos, any resources, anything that I think is going to help you out for that specific choice, okay? Sorry this video is long, but we're starting a long project for 4 weeks, so if you watch this, good. Other than that, ask me questions, email me if you have ideas, or if you have questions, maybe you do choose one of the choices that I give you, but you want to combine 2 of them, or I don't know. Now is the time to bombard me with emails, okay? If you have to. That's basically it, though. Oh, plagiarizing. Sorry, guys, I forgot to mention this. 2 things I actually forgot to mention. So, plagiarizing. You guys did this in class sometimes, and I was there to monitor it and turn you in a different direction, and I know it's never intentional. You're never like, oh, I'm going to take the easy way out and do this. Well, maybe you do think that, but I'd like to think not. So when you go to Google and you find photos that inspire you, you are not to take those photos and copy them, okay? You're not copying other people's ideas. Even if your redrawing it in your own style, you're still taking someone's idea. And I know people have really cool ideas out there, but you need to work hard, and it's not easy, the planning stages. You need to work hard to make it your own. So you can be inspired by someone's idea and use that as a starting point, okay, and translate it into your own idea, your own drawing, your own painting, okay? So please do not plagiarize. It doesn't really do you any good either. It's not challenging you enough. The other thing is, some of you guys submit things late and don't email me, and then I am lucky and come across it on Schoology. When you guys submit stuff, I have so many notifications on Schoology that I cannot keep up with it, and I'm already doing a ton of other work and grading on the side. So if you submit something late and you want to get credit for it, you need to email me, okay? A lot of you do that already, and that's good, but a lot of you also don't. So if you want credit, I would email me, okay? Just a quick email, and I'm going to say, thanks, I put your grade in, bye. That's it. Hope you guys got outside this past weekend, enjoyed the good weather. Bye.